Hi there, welcome back to the Oh How Healthy podcast. I'm your host, Jamie Zwier, and I'm always happy to have you. I know that you can be listening to any other podcast, have anyone else in your ear, and you choose to hang out here and listen to me, and that means so much. So thank you for being here. Today I wanted to go over other elements of what is considered healthy and what is going to support you on your health and weight loss journey. Last week on the podcast, we talked about what foods are healthy. We reviewed what healthy foods are foods that come from nature. And even when you pick up something that is processed, is out of a container or out of a package, you want to always look at the ingredients versus the nutrition facts, because you can bet that when your ingredients are clean, your nutrition facts are going to be healthy as well. And so you want to look again, you want to make sure all of those ingredients are from nature, from whole food based items, nothing artificial or words you can't understand. And that is what we discussed last week. So if you want to learn more about that, go ahead and listen to that episode. And so today we're going to feed off of that. We're going to talk a little bit more about other elements that consider and make what you're eating on a daily basis healthy. But I have a 5-step process, and it's called my signature weight loss protocol. And if you want, there's a free download associated with this podcast. So if you want that, it will be in the show notes below. You can also go to ohhowhealthy.com, ohhowhealthy.com to download it there as well. And then you will there's a whole workbook associated with this. So I'm just reviewing this with you because I know you busy ladies are on the go and you don't always have the time to sit and read something, but that is a supplemental material that goes with this. So anyway, feeding off of step 1, consuming real whole foods, fruits, veggies, meats and seafood, dairy and egg, whole grains, beans, legumes, seeds and nuts, spices, oils, and natural unrefined sweeteners like honey or maple syrup. So in addition to all that, you next want to build a balanced plate. And what I mean by this is just because you are eating a whole food, you want to balance that plate out properly. So for example, a sweet potato or a banana are considered whole foods. Now, does that mean that you should just have bananas all day? Or let your toddler just have bananas all day, or even, spinach or chicken? Like, your body needs a wide variety. It needs to find a balance. Gives your body that wide variety of different vitamins and nutrients so that you are feeling good. You're making sure you're hitting all of your different vitamins that you're getting. And of course, if you need a supplement with a multivitamin or any sort of supplements, that's fine also. But this is definitely going to help reduce inflammation and have you feeling really great, keep your energy levels high. So when you start off building a balanced plate, you want to focus on having about a half of your plate filled with vegetables. This is going to keep you full for longer. It's going to bulk up your meals, and it's going to it's going to give you a lot of fiber, and it's really what helps support weight loss, but also all right, so after you get your veggies in, you want to have about 1/4 of your plate filled with protein. This can be a vegan protein, this can be a vegetarian protein, this can be meat or fish or beans or tofu, anything that fits into protein. This can be a spoonful of peanut butter. This can be, a handful of chia seeds. Well, measure out your chia seeds. It might not be a handful, but there's so many different wonderful sources of protein. So you want to have a fourth of your plate filled with protein, like I just said, meat, chicken, tofu, beans, legumes, chia seeds, protein powder, peanut butter, anything that really fits. And honestly, sometimes my meals look super random, but you know what? It is a balanced plate, and I know that it will keep my blood sugar level stable. It will keep me full and focused. So it's okay if you kind of have a randomish kind of meal thrown together here. It works, okay? So if you need some ideas, feel free to reach out. I have a lot of different resources on the website as well, ohhowhealthy.com. So go ahead and check that out. And so we have a half of our plate filled with veggies. We have a fourth of our plate filled with protein. And then the other fourth of the plate is going to be a split between fruits and fruits and fats. So your fruits can be used as a dessert if you want to have that later, or you can somehow incorporate fruits. Maybe it's a salad and you want to chop up some oranges or some cranberries or some apples, whatever you want to kind of incorporate. It's not really that weird if you add some like caramelized apples or different fruits to a meal. You would really be surprised what kind of flavor it gives to a more savory dish. And then fats are things like nuts and seeds and oils, coconut, things like that is going to keeps you full for longer. So some of these foods might overlap, and that's okay. Your goal here is just to have this idea in your head as you're building a plate. So like I just said, some of my meals are super weird, super random, but I try to make sure that I get different elements into a dish so that I know that I won't be starving before my next meal. And even if it's something like pancakes, for example, maybe you are out over the weekend and you are not necessarily eating something healthy. You still want to create a balanced plate because it's going to help you stay full. It's going to help you manage your mood, manage your blood sugar, not have cravings, not feel like you need to take a nap after you eat. So if that's a goal, then check on balancing your plate. And so just like I said, maybe you go out and you're not getting the healthiest meal. Maybe you're just like, I'm just going to go out, I'm going to have pancakes, and that's just what I want, and that's what I'm going to do. Cool, that's fine. But what you can do is you can still focus on creating a balanced plate. It doesn't just have to be healthy meals that you do this for. So let's say, for example, you're going out, you're having those pancakes, and you're checking these things off in your head. So you're thinking, okay, veggies, protein, fruits, fats. How can I check these off? So I have a pancake. Now, how can I add some protein? Maybe I can order a side of eggs or a side of sausage or something like that, even though it sounds kind of counterintuitive where you're like, I'm already kind of eating a lot. Why would I add more to it? And the idea behind this is because it is creating a balanced plate and it's going to manage your blood sugar. It's going to keep your mood steady. It's going to keep you fuller longer. It's going to make you not need to take a nap after your meal. And so that's why we're doing this. It may sound weird where you're like, why would I order more when I'm already eating a lot? And this will also possibly prevent you from wanting to eat all of your, empty kind of carbohydrates, empty calories from the pancakes, which again, there's nothing wrong, but when you're just getting an influx of pancakes and sugar from the syrup, that's going to be a perfect recipe to need to go home and take a nap. And so you want to check off the protein box. Okay, great. We ordered a side of eggs. Now, how can we incorporate some fats? So you can order maybe a green juice or a smoothie or a side of a fruit cup or fruits on top of your pancake. And also some of these foods are definitely going to overlap one another. For example, eggs have a source of healthy fats in them from the yolks, okay? So I hope you're getting the idea here. We are looking to create a balanced plate after we focus on whole food nutrition. Even if our meal is not whole food based and not the super healthiest meal, we still want to create a balanced plate so that we can manage our mood, manage our hunger, manage how we're feeling after our meal, and start to manipulate how food affects us. So we are in control of the situation, and giving you this tip here, building a balanced plate is going to puts you leaps ahead of someone who does not have this information, because there's nothing wrong with the pancake itself. There might be healthier options that you can use, that you can have, but it doesn't mean you can't have pancakes. We're trying to create balance in our lifestyle. For me, for example, I won't say no to pancakes if I want to have pancakes, although I know that I just cannot eat pancakes because I just don't like how I feel after it. And same thing, with cereals or certain, snack bars. I can't just have them anymore. I need to make sure that I have something additional to balance out that food. So I hope that makes sense. So step 2 is building a balanced plate. So step 3 is checking our portion size. So if you can envision this, we have up at the top, whole foods that come from nature. Underneath that, we're creating a balanced plate with those whole foods that come from nature. And then underneath that, we need to focus on our portion sizes, because how big is this plate that we're creating? Even if it's all healthy foods, we still have to watch our portion size, because this is a huge issue that gets in a lot of individuals' ways. So if you feel frustrated because you feel like you're doing everything to get weight loss success that you're looking for, if you're like, Jamie, I'm eating so healthy, I'm eating omelets for breakfast and I'm having veggies with every meal, it could be your portion sizes that you have to check. And this goes both ways. You can actually be having too little portion, and then you can also obviously be consuming too many, you're having your portion be too large and thus consuming too many calories. And this is also what I mentioned in our last episode, that calories are not essential to count or essential to worry about, but ultimately what weight loss does come down to is being in a calorie deficient. So really, calories in versus calories out is what is going to determine your ultimate weight loss success, but it is not the only factor, and it does not determine solely how healthy you are, because calories are not created equally. So that's why I said in our last step about building a healthy plate, you really want to bulk up your meal with veggies and having these other elements of proteins and healthy fats and fruits into your meal, so that you can feel like you're getting a lot, and you actually are getting a lot, but you're getting the right amount of calories. And typically, veggies, if we're having half a plate of veggies are lower in calories. So by building that balanced plate is going to help you feel like you're eating a nice big portion, but you're keeping your calorie count lower. And so when we check our portion sizes, and I have a visual guide that you can go download over on the website, and you can also check the show notes for this. But I have a little visual here where it will give you visuals based off your hand size, because again, we're all unique and all have required different amounts of food. So based off your hand size, you can reference how much protein and fruits and carbs, fats and veggies to have. And so that is a resource available to you. So go check that out, because portions definitely are tricky. It's something that for me, I know that I struggled with for a really long time, because I like to feel full. And when I'm hungry, I want to eat. So the way that I'm able to work around that, for example, like a pizza night, right? Friday pizza night. And normally I could eat like 4 pieces of pizza, probably more. Like I could eat. But I know if I eat like that, I'm not going to feel good. And so what I do instead is I don't say, no, Jamie, you can't have pizza, because that's no fun. That's not living life. If I want pizza, I want to have pizza. It goes the same for cake or cheese or wine or whatever. And so what I'll do is I'll fill myself up on maybe a salad, or I'll have, I might order some chicken wings or something else, so that I can still have 1 or 2 slices of pizza, but I'm not gorging myself. And I also know that I'm getting a balanced plate into my meal, and I'm able to manage my portions without obsessively checking them, because I know that with balancing my plate, it is helping me check my portions so that I'm not overdoing it in an unhealthy way. And if you're someone who is coming off of a diet or a program and you feel like you really need to track or weigh or count your food, this is okay. This is always going to be a transition. So wherever you are, start with where you're at and go from there. Because just by saying this, it may sound really overwhelming for some. They're like, Jamie, I can't even be around pizza. I came from a diet where I wasn't even allowed to have any carbohydrates. And so you just really want to ease yourself into the situation, write about it. I sometimes, if I'm really focusing and trying to refine my diet, I'll write my food down. I'll track it. I won't really count calories necessarily, but I'm becoming hyper aware of what I'm having and how I'm feeling after having it and how I'm feeling during having it. You know what I mean? Like, for example, if pizza is a trigger food for me and after I have it, I feel like crap. I feel like I want to overeat. Maybe I feel horrible the next morning. Maybe my digestion is off. These are all things that I'm looking for to create that kind of overall holistic wellness in my body and in my mind. All right, so that was step 3. Now, step 4, you want to focus on getting enough water into your diet. And hand in hand, along with water, you want to make sure you're getting enough sleep. Sometimes we confuse thirst with hunger with thirst. And so when you feel hungry, and I want you to just wait a couple minutes and see if you're actually hungry. Because chances are you might just be thirsty. So chug a bottle of water, chug a glass of water, and then see how you feel and check if you're really hungry. And the goal for your amount of water that you should be drinking every day is about half of your body weight in ounces of water. And I know it may sound like, oh, Jamie, what are you talking about? But yes, so on average, if you weigh 200 pounds, for example, you want to drink about 100 ounces of water. And when you first start doing this, you will have to pee a lot, okay? But after your body gets used to that amount of water in the system, you won't have to urinate as frequently, okay? I promise. It might take a week for you to completely get used to the amount of water that you should be drinking, but it's not that bad, I promise. And if you're not a fan of water or 100 ounces, if that's the amount of recommended water, half of your body weight, sounds like a stretch, again, start from where you're at and go from there. So maybe just increase your water intake by 5 ounces at a time until you get to your desired amount. And also, if you're not a fan of water, try to incorporate some flavored waters with natural fruit. Again, check the ingredients. Make sure that there's no artificial flavorings in your water. Things like sparkling water can help. But just learn that water is going to be one of your best allies for so many different elements of your health and wellness and well-being, that just learn to love it if you can. And even, you know what, if using some sort of like flavoring packet, like those iced tea packets, or even making your homemade iced tea, things like that, will start to transition you into drinking more water. It's not the healthiest thing to do, but guess what? You're going to get more hydration into your system. And so slowly but surely start to phase out the packets of Crystal Light or iced tea or lemonade or things like that. And until you get to majority water, all water. And you can also make homemade lemonade, homemade iced tea, homemade things. But if you're just starting out and this all kind of sounds a little bit overwhelming, there's nothing wrong with starting off with a little bit of flavoring and then weaning yourself off, because I would rather see you drink more hydration, get some more hydration into your system than not at all. Along with getting enough water in, step 4 also says get enough sleep. So aim for 7 to 8 hours a night. Sleep is essential, okay? So we gotta manage our time the best possible way so that we're able to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. The sleep is going to help you in ways that you can have never imagined. If you're used to getting 6 hours of sleep and you go to 7 to 8 hours of sleep, you're gonna feel like a new person. It's because sleep does so much for you. It allows your brain to process everything that it took in that day. It allows your body to rebuild and repair. It allows time for your hormones to regulate. It's really magical when you're getting enough sleep, how amazing you can really feel. And when you're getting enough sleep, you're also encouraged to make smarter choices when it comes to food and exercise and other healthy choices throughout the day. So it goes hand in hand there. You're benefiting your body and it's encouraging you to make smarter choices, which leads us into step 5. So step 5 is my favorite step because you kind of hear it peppered throughout the whole podcast here and throughout the whole episode and throughout, honestly, my whole podcast, really. But you have to find food balance. Yes, you want to have whole foods. Yes, you want to have a balanced plate. Yes, you want to create portions that are appropriate. Yes, you need to get water and sleep. But guess what? You're human and you're doing the best that you can, and you are trying. You're trying. I know that you're trying because you're here listening to me today. You are doing an awesome job. So guess what? If you feel like you want to, like I said, have those pancakes on a weekend, you go and have those pancakes. But I want you to do it intentionally and guilt-free. So there's intentional indulging and then there's unintentional indulging. And when you're intentionally indulging and you're doing something because it just feeds your soul, that is good. And I want you to leave it exactly where it is. You don't need to think about it anymore. Like, let's say you have some pancakes and then you feel like crap about it for the next day or week. And then it just takes you down this rabbit hole. No, we're not doing any of that, okay? Because, it's okay to have those things, and we don't need to be so black and white with our thinking. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. Like, I'm either on a diet and I can't eat anything and all I have to have are these boiled chicken and veggies, or I'm not on a diet so I can have all the desserts and stuff myself until I feel like crap. Please, guys, no more black and white thinking. There can be some gray space in the middle, and I know it's like uncharted territory and it sounds really scary and off-putting, but this is the process. And again, you're taking the steps necessary, but you are allowed to have your cake and eat it too, or mac and cheese, or brownies, or ... you fill in the blank. But ultimately, life is filled with these pizza Fridays and pancake Sundays, cocktails and birthday cake. And it's only so long until you can realistically keep it out of your lifestyle. This is why I do not believe in diets, because how long is it before you can have sugar again? Like, you're going to have sugar again in your lifetime. So why are you cutting it out? Is sugar good for you? No, but there's healthier options. It's all about balance, so you don't feel like you need to binge once you have the sugar. You feel like crap about yourself once you have the sugar. So I want you to have a life where you feel like you don't need to cheat on, right? Oh, I can't wait for my cheat meal. F that. I'm sorry. Guys, this fires me up. You should not have to wait until cheat meal, because first of all, you can have it if you want to have it. Second of all, there's a way healthier way to make it so you can feel like you're having a cheat meal, but it's really healthy. And this is how I teach those healthy kids cooking classes, is because I tell the kids, we make our healthy foods taste unhealthy. We use our whole food ingredients and we make it taste like a delicious unhealthy treat. And if you want to learn more about that, go check out my cookbook, Simple Balanced Eats, which I'll leave in the show notes below, which can also be found on Amazon. And there's things like pizza and chicken wings and chicken fingers and cheese sauce and mac and cheese and nachos. All of that stuff, you go ahead and have it and you go and live your life, okay? And so that's really what I want to share with you. I want you to know that there is an easy way to get the weight loss you want. There's an easy way to find success and health in your life. And honestly, the weight loss is a byproduct of doing all these things. By eating whole foods, by creating a balanced plate, by managing your sleep and your water and all these different elements, you are creating ultimately balance in your life. You're creating a holistically healthy life. By doing these things, you're finding a little bit more energy. Maybe you're to clean your car, or maybe you're not as snappy to your spouse, or maybe you're a little more upbeat at work and it leads to a promotion, or who knows what. But guess what? That is what happens when you consume really healthy whole foods and in a really delicious way, in a guilt-free way. And weight loss is a byproduct of all that. And it does not have to be difficult. I'm here to show you that you can do it, and it may take some time, but you're only human and you're doing your best and you're trying hard, and I am here to help. So listen, if you want some more support with this, the highest price thing that I have to sell you is my $49 program, okay? So if you want to spend $49 on a program where I do all the heavy lifting for you guys, where you don't have to scour Pinterest for healthy recipes, you don't have to come up with a grocery list and then make these recipes that are going to take forever and meal prep all day on Sunday. None of that, guys. I do all the heavy lifting for you. I provide you with the whole food meal plans, the affordable grocery list that's going to cost you $100 at the grocery store, if that. Super simple recipes, some of the easiest recipes you'll find, and so much other stuff like our meal prep party that we do together virtually in 1 hour, trainings and challenges and cash prizes and so much stuff. Guys, all for $49, yes. So if you're interested in this, go check out Oh How Healthy Insiders, where you can get instant access to all this stuff and you can download everything and get started immediately. So the link to that will be in the show notes. You can also just go to ohhowhealthy.com/insider and get your booty in there ASAP. Okay? All right. Well, that is it from me. I, as always, enjoy hanging out with you and appreciate you hanging out with me. And I will catch you all next week.